All my life, I've looked at words as though I were seeing them for the first time. I notice that you use plain, simple language, short words, and brief sentences. That is the way to write English. It is the modern way and the best way. Stick to it. Don't let fluff and flowers and verbosity creep in. When you catch an adjective, kill it. No, I don't mean utterly, but kill most of them. Then the rest will be valuable. They weaken when they are close together. They give strength when they are wide apart. An adjective habit, or a wordy, diffuse, flowery habit, once fastened upon a person, is as hard to get rid of as any other vice. Like air and waves of energy, we are bombarded with words. Observations of the greater populace, as presented by the media and my daily interactions, have allowed me to witness that it is common not to preemptively and responsibly attend to consequences. But remember, words have consequences as much as actions do. It is convenient to ignore that what we advocate corresponds in degree with our position. It is convenient. So we travel via this ocean of words with no seatbelt to protect against the turbulence. We are, by definition, an enigma, both complicated and simple. If mutual respect is a foundation from where our words can rocket, then why impoverish humanity with the very source which feeds it during every waking hour of existence? The power of words which rises from the power of silence. If our fundamental roads of expressions are left unexamined, then how can the infrastructures of the mind be open for travel? I do not harbor any grand illusions about the majority of humanity, mind you, so I give my words to those who select to give them energy of consideration. Mastering our words requires more than temporarily restraint from the sake of avoiding an unpleasant situation or conflict. Of course, words can be rightfully reduced to function of a temperus, for it beckons and demands the formation of words, though the temperus understands that thought is the master. It is with thought that words have its origins, its intangible genesis. As we shape and receive experiences that contributes to our destiny, we learn the necessity to manage the nature of our habitual thoughts or internal reality. By doing so, we hope to attract certain experiences. Words allow us to externally play with what we think we know as truth of these thoughts. We acknowledge that one of the main reasons, but not the only one, that music has such an enormous power to impact fans is word selection, use, and direction. But to what degree does intention factor into the equation? If the result of an artist's composition is tragic, where do we draw the line? Surely we can say it lies completely with the listener. It is their personal responsibility to understand the difference between entertainment value, crazed imaginings placed in verse, or the promotion of an antisocial position. It is their decision to act on the information being consumed by them. I would say this is valid, but does the responsibility solely rest with the listener? In embracing the power of words, can we rightfully demand that musicians edit themselves due to the potential for destructive realities to manifest? Does the buck of responsibility stop when the musician, playwright, or speaker trusts the intellect of each co-participant to accept or reject consequences of concepts and ideas? Beyond the need to describe specific ideas, we take for granted the wonder of transferring belief systems to others. That spark of creative force surely is not limited to mere chemical interactions. Surely communications are mystical, and please don't call me romantic, but yes, mystical, in that they allow what you envision, you speak. What you speak, another will see, or may, depending on the ability to appropriately interpret intention, literal meaning, and metaphoric significance, etc. Then they will speak repeatedly what has been spoken, which increases the likelihood of a specific reality to be created. No matter if the tempo of materialization is revealed as adagio or presto, the pulse of humanity's thought machine has been prepped, a seed begins to germinate, and a new paradigm is born. It does not matter if the words are examined or not, but is particularly effective if not examined. Unfortunately, many fail to see this flow chart and cease to explore further. This is one of the reasons why propaganda is so potent. It slithers under the radar, appearing innocuous and appealing to our emotions, our humanity. The society of today effectively has dumbed down many. Common sense, along with discernment, appears to be the most valuable and rarest of commodities. Increasingly crucial, discernment is an attribute of shrewdness shown by keen insight and vital as predators and bagmen uses crafty subtlety. Rational and intellectual discourse infused with logic are shunned from the public square. Emotional sentiment, feelings, and even compassion seldom appear to be tempered by intelligent reason. The communion table of extreme tolerance drains the truth from the clay. Reduction of critical argument is but an object that sits on the table of propaganda. As the snappy drummed slogans permeate space, leaving little room for discourse. Next comes complete polarization of advocates and detractors from radical degrees. It is the missing piece that fits perfectly with the systematic way propaganda is willed, as the practitioners of black public relations shape words under the Hegelian dialectic, thus producing wedges that aid in humanity's division. Surely, we do not want to demand that people edit themselves, or do we? But if we are to extract one thing from the cesspool of beliefs that many conservatives appear to have, then the reminder that no law can replace personal responsibility is significant. But should the responsibility of the word use be more pressing due to the amount of power and influence you have? It is always easy to see the birth of new ideas flowing from the shaping of thought, but what of the asphyxiation of potential when we silence ourselves, or edit ourselves, or allow those to do it for us? Indeed, expressed thought in the form of words have a creative as well as a revealing function. The servants of vision allows us to build bridges across the canyons of our minds. The power is undeniable as it allows us to snatch thought, paint pictures for others while providing it passage from our subjective waters to the earth of objective reality.